All right, everybody, welcome to the show. It is Monday, August 29th, 2022. Proud of myself. I got the date right without having to break my brain this time. So I am jam-packed wall-to-wall today. So we have Joe Biden going on the offense over his student loan debt reduction. That's very fun to watch, if I'm being honest with y'all. We also have Republicans being incredibly dishonest while talking about this issue. I got a bunch of little video clips for you from, DeSantis, Cruz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Boebert, all sorts of different far-right kooks. And then also in today's show, I have Bill Maher decides to jump the shark and shit the bed while talking about the issue of limiting student debt. He, again, look, it's not me, it's him. He went from supporting Bernie Sanders to supporting Amy Klobuchar. So I would say that's a wee bit of a change, if you ask me. And then Alan Dershowitz got absolutely grilled over his association with Jeffrey Epstein and the massages that he got. So, man, that is a very uncomfortable video, but shout out to Ryan Grimm for, grilling him and holding him accountable. So anyway, without further ado, let's get started. We'll go ahead and jump into it here. So Joe Biden, of course, he just did student debt reduction. You get $10,000 off if you make $125,000 or less. For Pell Grant recipients, you get $20,000 off. And then a provision that's just as important, which isn't getting nearly as much discussion, is that he's capping the payment on at 5% of your monthly income. Apparently, Obama had capped it previously at 10%. Biden cut that in half. So those are, pretty strong provisions. And honestly, it's further than I thought he'd go, even under a best case scenario. At best, I thought he would just do $10,000 for $125,000 and under. He did go beyond that. Those other provisions are pretty important and pretty strong. So now he's getting shit from everywhere. Have you guys noticed something? The media goes after Biden the most aggressively when he's most correct. Like when he pulled out of Afghanistan and they went off on him. It's like, well, hold on. This is like the best thing he's ever done. And mainstream media is shitting on him relentlessly. And by the way, also at the time, they were driving his poll numbers down as a result of that. And then, of course, the right, right-wing politicians, they use this as an opportunity to lie relentlessly. And so Biden has had no choice but to go on the offense. And so here's a little clip from the other night. And this is, a different Joe Biden, if I don't say so myself.
Every single Republican in the House, every single Republican in the Senate, every single one, hear this, America, every single Republican voted against lower prescription drug prices, against lower health care costs, against tackling the climate crisis, against lower energy costs, against creating good-paying jobs, against the fair taxes, every single one. That's not hyperbole. Every single American needs to return the favor when we vote.
So Biden's line going to every single Republican voted against this, every single Republican voted against that, every single one of them. This is a total break from his normal strategy and his normal approach to politics, which is like, hey man, I'm the common sense bipartisanship guy. And, I'm going to get, remember he famously said, their fever will break when Trump is gone. And the right will have an epiphany. And they'll be willing to work with Democrats to get stuff done. Well, that 100% didn't happen. But now it appears like Joe Biden is well aware of that, and so he's going on the offense. I mean, it sounds kind of crazy to say that a grown-ass man who's damn near 80 years old had an epiphany when it comes to, oh shit, these people don't want to work with us at all, and they're actively in favor of bad things. But it appears like that is exactly what happened here. So, let me give you some more. A bunch of the right-wing politicians went after Biden for his student loan debt reduction. And they kept making this argument, very sloppy argument of like, our government, just to say your debt is forgiven? It's totally unfair. That's not just, man. I'm not in favor of the government forgiving debt. Well, apparently they forgot that a lot of them took PPP money, which is like the COVID loans. And then they had it canceled. So they had their debt canceled, their business debt canceled by the government. So, the White House recognizes this and they go on the offense. So here you have a clip of Marjorie Taylor Greene for our government to just say, okay, your debt is completely forgiven. It's completely unfair. The White House official account tweets, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene had $183,504 in PPP loans forgiven. That is aggressive, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, look at these stats on this tweet. 217,000 retweets, 814,000 likes. People have been thirsting for the White House to actively go on the offense for good things, to slam the people who are getting in the way of good things, to slam the liars and the hypocrites. And so now we're getting a little taste of that. And I mean, shit, everybody's floored by it, and they're pleasantly surprised. Got another one for you. Representative Vern Buchanan, by the way, a guy I've never heard of. As a blue-collar kid who worked his way through college, I know firsthand the sacrifices people make to receive an education. Biden's reckless, unilateral student loan giveaway is unfair to the 87% of Americans without student loan debt and those who play by the rules. First of all, I don't think his number's correct. It's not 87%. But beyond that, White House quote tweets it, Congressman Vern Buchanan had over $2.3 million in PPP loans forgiven. $2.3 million. Again, the word hypocrisy is not strong enough. This is above and beyond hypocrisy. This is a whole new category. It's hypocrisy on steroids and human growth hormone. Then we have Mark Wayne Mullen, apparently another like fake-ass name congressperson who I've never heard of. We do not need farmers and ranchers, small business owners, and teachers in Oklahoma paying the debts of Ivy League lawyers and doctors across the U.S. That's just a liar's way of categorizing what happened with the student loan debt reduction. This places undue burden on those already suffering due to the weight of Biden's failed economic policy. Yes, right. Forgiving loans for the working class actually hurts the working class. That's the argument that's being made. Absurd on its face. White House quote tweets it. Congressman Mark Wayne Mullen had over $1.4 million in PPP loans forgiven. And so you go down the line here. You know, Congressman Kevin Hern had over $1 million in PPP loans forgiven. Congressman Mike Kelly had $987,000 in PPP loans forgiven. Congressman Matt Gaetz had $482,000 in PPP loans forgiven. They went in ski, dog, in ski. Now, by the way, all of this is being reflected in the polls. How correct this move is from the White House. It's all being reflected in the polls. So, we talked about it the other day. 65% approval rating for what Biden did here. There's, I think it was maybe 35% said it was just the right action, and then another 30% said it was good, but I go further. So 65% in the broad category of support. There was one poll when you asked the question straight up, it's still 54% that support. And Biden's poll numbers, his favorability numbers, are going up as a result of this. So this was a colossal win. I got more for you. So President Biden is asked about, the Republicans disagreeing with this move when he's in front of the White House here. And he pulls a Dark Brandon gangster-ass moment. Watch this.
And I found it fascinating that some of the folks who were talking about this is big spending are the same people that got $158,000 in PPP money, including what's her name? That woman who believes in it. Anyway, a whole lot of Republicans got a lot of money. The very people criticized. So it's just not, I think it's a good thing. It frees a lot of people up. It's going to grow the economy. We still have a way to go, but I'm optimistic. And I thought
I love how he didn't remember her name. Yeah, it's like that woman, that person, whatever her name is. Anyway, she took $183,000 from the government. Oh, you are, a gnat on the president's ass, Marjorie Taylor Greene. That is all you are. All right, another one for you. So Biden, as part of a speech he gave after the student loan debt forgiveness, said that, look, effectively, the hardcore pro-Trump Republicans, they're semi-fascist at this point. Now, look, you can debate whether or not he should use that term. Some people, when they hear the word fascism, like all they can think about is Nazi Germany and like Mussolini's Hitler. And so to those people, it's like, well, that might be a little bit of a stretch. You can go with a term like authoritarianism instead. That might be a little more accurate. I understand that criticism. But also, if you go to the textbook definition of fascism and you read through the planks, there are some of them that apply to the far right, Trump wing of the Republican Party. So, I don't think it's an unfair categorization. And then when you add the qualifier semi, he's got a good argument that he can make based on just the terms and the definitions here. So a reporter says, well, what did you mean by semi-fascism? And Biden does another GS response.
What do you mean by semi-fascism, sir?
In December, you will...
You know what I mean.
Mr. President, Angola...
What do you mean by semi-fascism, sir?
In December, you will...
You know what I mean.
Mr. President...
Oh, shit. Dark Brandon barely knows where he is, and he's still busting these fuckers up, man. Holy shit. Look, I gotta admit to you guys, it feels good every now and then when you just get a little win, just a little win. Again, my nickname for him is Bare Minimum Biden. That's what it is. He is doing the bare minimum. Now, I want to be clear, you could look at that with a positive connotation or a negative connotation. The negative connotation is, well, fuck, it's only the bare minimum. The positive connotation is from, the Republican politicians and even many other corporate Democrats, you wouldn't even get the bare minimum. You'd be going 1,000 miles an hour in the wrong direction. So to get the bare minimum, I mean, it is what it is, but just these little wins here and there, whatever they may be, including the student loan debt reduction, it's like, oh shit, this is what it feels like when a little something good happens. Just a little dash of goodness, a little dash of your government looking out for you. So, man, Dark Brandon, I like this new arc from Dark Brandon. I don't know if you'd say he's doing a heel turn or a face turn. Probably a face turn, right? This is more of a face turn than a heel turn. Because he's going after the right people, he's saying the right things, he's making the right arguments. And by the way, he even has Democratic hacks coming after him. Paul Begala on CNN, who's a longtime Democratic strategist, a massive corporate sellout. This guy's out there saying it's terrible policy and terrible politics. There's literally no argument for that whatsoever. He's going up in the polls, and this poll's popular on its own merits. You have Tim Ryan was out there arguing against student loan debt reduction. And this is a guy who apparently they found a tweet of him when he ran for president, which, by the way, LOL, that guy ran for president. They found a tweet of him, liking the idea or liking a very similar idea to the student loan debt reduction. So keep going, Dark Brandon. These numbers are going to go up more and more and more the more we see stuff like this. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.